Assalamualaikum. This is second part of topic roller contact bearing. Uh, I will start with the summary or how to calculate force on the bearing. Taking an example of a shaft. Let's say we have a shaft with two gears, one this A gear, one B gear. Dias are given, forces are given, angles are given. If this force 11 kilonewton can be dissolved in two components, one horizontal along this z-axis and second vertical along y-axis. Similarly, second force, this FB, can be dissolved in two components, one along this line and second along this line. So this force can be dissolved in these components. The magnitude of FB is not given. It can be calculated, as we know that torque transferred from this gear to this gear is same. So we know that 11 kilonewton cos 20 degree is horizontal force. That force multiplied by this R will give us torque, and that torque divided by this R will give us force, horizontal force, and from that horizontal force we can calculate FB by dividing that force by cos 25, and once we have this force we can calculate its vertical component. Now we have in simple form we can get at the end one axis. In vertical axis we have two downward forces, this one and this one, two downward forces. Its magnitude can be calculated, and we have two bearings here, one a bearing at at O and second bearing at C. We have two bearing. From simple kinematics we can calculate reaction at O and reaction at C. Now we have reaction of bearing along y-axis. We also have this other force component. From this other force component, one is upward, this is opposite direction but downward, this is upward and this is downward, downward, and we have reaction. After calculating reaction we come to conclusion that reaction at O is 494 Newton, and at this point it is 10,000 Newton. Once we have reaction in one axis and two axis, and similarly one axis, two axis, we can calculate magnitude of reaction about O and magnitude of reaction about C. How? 5083 square plus 494 square whole under root will give us reaction at O, and similarly reaction at C. After calculating the reaction, we can get the calculation at reaction at A or O. Reaction at O equal to 5107 Newton, and reaction at C is 13.66 kilonewton. So we come to a conclusion that this bearing is supporting most of the load. So we need to design this bearing. The other bearing, if you use same bearing for this case, it will be safe. So we need to design this bearing. Now every bearing has its life. The manufacturer has designed a bearing according to some bearing some life of, let's say, 1 million life. This is the equation. Rated load, rated life. This life for most of manufacturer, it is 1 million. We need a load acting on bearing. In this case it is 13.66 kilonewton load. We need a life, how many hours we need, what are the RPM. Let's assume that we desired speed is 1500 RPM, this ND is 1500 RPM, and we want a life of 5000 hours. So it is 5K, it is 1500, and after that we have this equation. This value is rated, this value is equal to 1 million. All the other parameters are known. A is equal to 1, A equal to 3. Substituting this value, we get a final value of C10. So simply we need to design a bearing according to C10 equal to 104.6. If you come to this table, all the values are assumed. They are not real value. I have assumed 15,000 RPM, 1500 RPM and 5 hours. So if you come to this table, it is our choice. We need to select deep groove or angular contact bearing. At this point, as you don't have any constraints, so you can select any bearing. The load was 104.6. Select search here 104.6. This is the first bearing which can support this load, or in case of this we have 106. Either this or this. So we can select a bearing of 95 mm bore. So what is our final bearing? Our final bearing is single row 02 series deep groove 95 mm bore bearing. So this will be the final selection. That is the process of selecting a bearing. What is the constraint? The constraint of using this equation is this equation is reliable for reliability of 0.9. We have a reliability of 0.9, means 10% of bearing, there is 10% possibility that the bearing can fail, or 10 out of 100 bearings can fail for this specific load before 5000 hours. So that is this equation. Up till now we have studied the equation for reliability of 90%. Now the question is, what if reliability is changed? For example, let's say a manufacturer, you are a design engineer and you are required to design a bearing for a reliability of, let's say, 99%. So the equation has to be changed. You cannot use this exact equation because this equation is only for a reliability of 90%. So if reliability is changed, we have another curve. For that, initially I have to explain you what is Weibull curve. This is a Weibull curve. In Weibull equation, reliability equation is given as exponential minus x naught divided by theta minus x naught. What is x naught? X naught is the minimum guaranteed value. If you take, for example, if for your case x naught is let's say 4 kilonewton, it is impossible that any bearing or anything fails below this value. So it is a minimum guaranteed value x naught. Theta is a value for in this case this is theta. Theta is a value which gives a percentile score of 63.21%. So for any curve, let's say I just prefer a wire. Let's say you have a data point, normal distribution. Normal distribution is 0.4. At normal distribution, center line is 0.5. Just after 0.5, let's say this line is for a 63% percentile. It means that it is above 63% of parameters, and it has almost 36% or 36 point something percent of parameters above it. So that is the 63 percentile. For all the curves, if you see that the skewness of curve changes by changing variable b. So this curve only depends upon b. So for any value of b, the value of theta will be different. For example, if this is the curve, let's say for this curve, for all these three curves have same value of x naught. It's better to explain here. All these three curves have same value of, just change the color to green. All three curves start from x bar, but for this curve, it might be possible that 63% of data is here for this curve, for b is less than 1. Let's say for this curve, it is quite possible that 63% of data value are somewhat here, and for this curve 63% of percentile will be further away from the x naught. So depending on b, the value of theta will be changed, and that is standard for the curve. That value is standard. And what is changeable? That x is changeable. That x is the desired reliability that you want, this ratio. That is your desired reliability. For example, if you have the calculator, just substitute x is equal to theta in this equation. Substitute x is equal to theta. Substituting x is equal to theta will give you value almost 36 point something. It means that for x is equal to theta, you will have a reliability of 36%. It means that only 36% of parts can survive this value, this magnitude of load, or this magnitude of anything. This curve is standard curve. In our case, the case that we were studying, we had this value. We had a reliability equal to 90%. The reliability for us was 90%. So if you want, for any curve, The value of theta, value of x naught and b are standard for set by the manufacturer for the bearing. So for any bearing you will have a value of theta, x naught and b. The only unknown will be x and r. If you substitute your desired value of your reliability, you will get a value of x that give you the desired reliability. So that is a relationship between expected value and reliability. If you put a value that how much load you can apply on the bearing, then you get the value of reliability. And if you put a value of required reliability, you will get the value of x. X naught, theta and b are given by the manufacturer. So depending on value of beta, value of theta is different for all the curves, all the three case curves in this case, and B1.5, B2, B3, B4, for all the curves we have different value of theta, but that value of theta is standard. Value of x is your desired value, and that can be calculated by using this Weibull equation. So that was, and also don't forget, I forgot to mention, x is dimensionless quantity. It is L by L10. So it can be calculated if you get the value of L10, which can be life of 10 percentile, and desired life LD by L10, you will get x, and that x, if you substitute that value of x here, you will get reliability. This logic we will be using to calculate the equation. What is the designer problem? Designer problem is that all the catalog values are calculated or given with reference to r is equal to 0.9. If you have, for example, if you get let's say, if you get load here, if you have this load, just go here and you get the life, and this ratio is already given that we have already used here. This is the equation. It was equation 2 parameters. F and D points were on the same line of reliability 90%. So that is 90% reliability line. And this is also understood that if we are increasing reliability for the same amount of force, initially for this C10 we had this life, and by increasing reliability, life is decreasing for same magnitude of force. So one thing is that a designer wants different reliability, different than the rated reliability. Also, the other thing is that the designer life is different from the manufacturer's life. So moving from one point to another point that we had, like in the previous equation, we were moving from one point to another point on the same reliability curve. That we can do here as well. And in this topic, we are moving from one reliability curve to another reliability curve. Let's say the rated life for any bearing is A. This is the rated line curve, and this is point A, and it is can be calculated according to C10. And our desired curve is here on reliability, any reliability. Let's say our reliability is more than it. Let's say it is 95% reliability or 0.95. Our desired reliability is here. These two lines are parallel. We will move from this point to this point until this line is parallel to this line, and moving from D to B, we will be using same equation as we have solved initially. Moving from B to D, because the reliability line is not changing, so we can move from point D to point B, and that point B is in line with point A. So using same equation, we can move on the same reliability line. For example, this is desirable reliability line. This equation is on desirable reliability line, not on the 90% reliability line. So the final equation is this, between D and B, and B is not on 90% reliability but on desirable reliability line. This equation, this is the equation we got. Now moving between the reliability curve, on the same C10 curve, we can move from point B to point A using Weibull criterion. This Weibull criterion, because line is constant, so we can calculate for the same life from one counter to another counter we can move. one point to another point. Using same equation, we will get x b equal to x naught plus theta minus x naught, and this whole equation. Rd is desirable reliability, and xb is value of this. We need a value of this. In our case, we need a force, value of force for this case. But in this equation, we are using non-dimensional, dimensionless quantity. So this is desirable reliability. Value of b, value of x naught, and value of theta will be given by the manufacturer for any bearing. So we have value of b, xb. Substituting this value of xb in this equation, we will get. Now this equation has value of b, value of fd, and a. So this equation enabled us to move from a to b, and this equation enabled us to move from b to d. Or in short, we moved d to b and from b to a, and we got value of c10. That is the required value we need. After getting value of c10, we will be checking value c10 from this value c10 from catalog to select our bearing. So the final equation is this: xd is desirable value that we need, which is a ratio of life of desirable life and rated life, and this desirable life is usually 1 million, and it depends on manufacturer. This is number of hours of rotation, and this is number of RPM, and this is our. From there, here we can calculate value of xt. So we can substitute value of xd here. Value of x naught, theta, and x naught are given by the manufacturer, and rd is our desired reliability that we want. Substituting all value, and fd is also our desirable load, that for which load we need to design this bearing. So all the values are given. From these value we can calculate fb. Fb is equal to c10. So this is the final equation. And what is alpha? Alpha f or AF is our application factor. It acts as a factor of safety. So if we can increase it by 20%, and if we get a value of c10, let's say equal to 100, by multiplying it with 1.2, it gives us a value of 120. So it acts as a factor of safety. So this equation, we will be using this specific equation for a reliability greater than 90%. For any other reliability, or for 90% reliability, equation remains the same, and for reliability greater than 90%, we will be using this specific equation. So that is the method of using reliability and changing reliability from 90 to more than 90. Also, why we are concerned with increasing reliability? Let's say you have a shaft. For that shaft, you will be using two bearings. If for each bearing, if the reliability is 0.9, for the other bearing also 0.9, for what is the reliability of shaft? Total reliability of shaft will be 0.9 multiplied by 0.9. Reliability of shaft or reliability of system on the basis of shaft will be equal to 81%. So overall reliability is reducing. That's why if you need 90% reliable system, you need to increase the reliability of individual bearing. So that's why you can use this value. I will be solving one example and then one problem before end of today's lecture. This part. The design load on bar bearing is 1814 Newton. So design load is given. Design is 18. And the application factor is, so application factor is also given 1.2. The speed of shaft is 300 RPM. So end of desired is 300 RPM. The life to be, so life is 30 kHz, and reliability of 0.99. So reliability, desired reliability is 0.99. What is C10? C10 needs to be calculated. To entry sought to be or exceed when the searching for deep groove ball bearing, a manufacturer catalog based on, so life of rated life is 10 power 6 revolutions. The variable parameters are given: x naught, theta minus x naught, and b. All the values are given. So what we need? We have this equation. For reliability more than 90%, we have this equation. In this equation, we have value of alpha or AF. We have value of FD. We have value of x naught, theta minus x naught. Rd is also given 0.99 xd. We need to calculate xd. And what is xd? xd is ratio between desirable life and rated life. What is desirable life? 60 into number of hours, life number of hours into revolution per minute divided by life, and this will give us xd. Substituting this value and all the other values in this equation, and we will be getting value of C10. Value of C10 in this case is 29.7 kilonewton. So for this specific case, we need a bearing of C10 equal to 20 rated life of 29.7 kilonewton. And if you check from this chart, again table 10-2, for deep grooves, life of C10, this is less, this is more, and this is furthermore. So this is a suitable, because we have already used a 20% factor of safety, 1.2 alpha. So our desirable bearing is this one, which is equal to 40 mm bore. So final selection of bearing can be written as, we are using a single row 02 series deep groove, this is deep groove, ball bearing of 40 mm bore. Or if you are required, if by chance you are required to use angular contact bearing for 29.7, you can use exactly same bearing, because this is less. So 29.7 you will be using same bearing. So you can write that the final selected bearing is single row 02 series angular contact ball bearing of diameter 40 mm bore. So that is your final answer for this specific question. Now I'm going to solve the final problem before the end of this chapter, because this chapter is not very lengthy, and we will be not solving further section in the chapter. In this question, they have asked an angular contact inner ring rotating 02 series ball bearing. So this is the, you have to select this bearing from the chart. Is required for an application which the life requirement is 50 kilo R. So life is given at 40 revolution per minute. The design radial load, they have already given us that the load is radial. Application factor is 1.4. Reliability goal is 0.9. Find the multiple rating factor XD. We need to calculate XD, and then we need to calculate C10. From this C10, we need to select a bearing. Once we select a bearing, we need to again come here to check what is the final reliability. Final reliability we need to check. And as they have given us that it is 02 series, manufacturer series 1 and series 2. So for 02 series, we have data is given. Just keep in mind that table 11-2 and 11-3 are based on 02 series. They are not based on 01 series. So all the data in table 11-2 and 11-3 are based on this. X naught, theta and B value of these value are here, and the manufacturer has calculated the life on base of 1 million revolution. So I have written all the data which was in previous slide here. This is all the given data, and we need to solve for R. So we have two equations. Here we have two equations. Which equation? I will just use an equation, but I'm asking you a question. Which equation is better to use for a reliability of 90% and to calculate C10? We can use this C10 and this C10. Here it is written that you can, this equation is valid for R greater than or equal to 9.9. So I will suggest you, if reliability of 90% is given, use directly this equation. You can use this equation, but it is preferable for using for a reliability greater than or equal to 90%. So starting from to calculate XD, value of XD. Value of XD is this. LD by LR is XD. So LD by LR is XD. What is desirable life? 50,000 R at 480 RPM. So 50K, 50,000 in 480 into 60 minutes is will give you, sorry, capital L, LD, and LR is given as well. It is not written here. LR is 1 million. So yeah, this is LR. LR is 1 million. So substituting both these value here, you will get value of XD equal to 1440. It is dimensionless quantity. So once you have value of LD, you can, and also for angular contact bearing, if you go to table, not table, the value of A is given, it is 3 or 1 by 3, let me check. So yeah, for ball bearing, because in the question they have, it is ball bearing. For ball bearing, value of A is 3. So value of A is also given, it is 3. For value of A is 3. Substituting all these values in this equation, and we have FD. Also, as factorial value of A is given, this equation will modify with AF FD, because AF is a factor of safety. AF FD into this, and C10, by calculating this, we will get a value of C10. This second equation, value of C10 we will getting 43.4. Using this equation for 90% reliability is not wrong, but it is a little bit lengthy procedure. You can use this equation as well. It is not wrong, but you can apply. For this equation, this value is given, FD is given in the question, XD we have calculated 1440, X naught is given by the manufacturer, theta is also given, and B is also given. Reliability is given as 0.9. So all the values are given, and 1 by A is equal to 3. All the values are given. If you substitute all values here, you will get a value of C10 equal to 44 kilonewton. So they are very close. For in any case, you can select any bearing, but I will suggest you, for reliability of 90%, use this second equation, not the first one. So that is the method of solving the problem. Once you have the value, go to table. In this table, we will be selecting for a value of 43.4. Angular contact, inner ring rotating angular contact, ball bearing, a value of 44 is the first value greater than 44. So our final selection will be 55 mm bearing. The final selection is angular 02 series angular contact inner ring rotating 02 series ball bearing of bore size of bore is equal to 55 mm. This is the final answer. Once we have this answer, now things has to be changed a little bit, because our desired load was 44 or 43.4, and we have selected a bigger bearing. Larger bearing means more safer the load, joint is. It means that reliability might be increased. So what we can do? Use this 55 mm bearing, and for this 55 mm bearing, what is the rated load? 46.2. So rated load from this bearing C10 equal to 46.2 kilonewton. And now we know that reliability is not 90%. So we will not be using this equation, but we will be using this equation, because reliability, we need to check the reliability. This equation is for fixed reliability. From this equation, we have value of C10 equal to 46.2. AF is given. FD is also given. XD is original value. We just need to check that if load is same, bearing is same, all the other factors are same, XT is same, what is the effect on reliability? So substituting 46.2 here in this equation, and substituting all the other values and calculating RD. This value of RD will be greater than 0.9. That I think I have not written the answer, but I think it is almost 93%, but I'm not sure. Just calculate the value. So that is the method of selecting a bearing, and then after selecting the bearing, just to check what is the reliability of final selected bearing. We have started with a reliability of 90%. In other words, we wanted a bearing to select a bearing for which we can allow a failure of 10 bearing out of 100 bearing, or 1 in 10 failure are allowed. But when we went to select the bearing from the catalog, the next bigger bearing was a little can support a little bit more load, it means that the load we are applying is less and the load that the bearing can support is a little bit more. In other words, for the our lesser load, the life of bearing is a little bit more. So if the life is more for our applied load, what is the reliability? If the reliability, I'm not sure with answer, but if the reliability is 93%, it means that our initial choice of 10 failure per 100 bearing is amplified and it is improved, and now our selected bearing 93 bearing out of 100 bearing are satisfactory performing their function and only 7 bearings are failing. So that is the complete process of solving a problem related to bearing. So that is the end of today's lecture, and hopefully we'll see you in